Welcome to the new video, Old Cryptoco. In the story of the 1984 Lincoln cent is more interesting than many people realize. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny that millions of Americans used every day in the 1980s. But behind this small copper-colored coin lies a deep history connected to American culture, economics, and a legacy of one of the country's most respected leaders, Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American life for more than a century, and by 1984 it had already become one of the most recognizable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. For collectors, historians, and everyday people who enjoy searching through pocket change, the 1984 penny can hold surprising value, especially when rare varieties or minting errors appear. To truly understand the importance of the 1984 Lincoln cent, we must first explore the long journey of the Lincoln penny itself and how it became a symbol of American heritage and coin collecting excitement. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. Before that year, U.S. coins rarely featured real historical figures. The design was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of Lincoln was chosen because it captured the president's dignity and calm character. When the coin debuted in 1909, it replaced the Indian head cent and immediately became popular with the public. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent went through several design changes on its reverse side, but Lincoln's portrait on the front remained largely unchanged. By the time the 1984 penny was produced, the coin had already passed through multiple eras of American history, including world wars, economic booms, and technological changes in the minting process. The front of the 1984 Lincoln cent shows a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Above his head appears the word Liberty, while the year 1984 is placed to the right of the portrait. The famous motto, "In God We Trust," appears along the top edge of the coin, reflecting the national motto adopted during the 20th century. On the reverse side, the design shows the Lincoln Memorial, a building dedicated to honoring President Lincoln in Washington, D.C. This reverse design was introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. A fascinating detail hidden within the Lincoln Memorial design is a tiny depiction of the statue of Abraham Lincoln inside the building. Even though it is extremely small, collectors often enjoy pointing out this miniature figure as a symbol of the incredible detail that the U.S. Mint placed into such a small coin. The 1984 Lincoln cent was produced at several mint locations, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins produced in Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark during that period, while coins made in Denver featured a small D beneath the date. The San Francisco Mint produced special proof coins intended for collectors, usually found in official proof sets rather than everyday circulation. Each mint produced millions, and in some cases billions, of pennies during the 1980s, ensuring that the coin will remain widely available for everyday transactions. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1984 Lincoln cent is its metal composition. Just 2 years earlier, in 1982, the United States Mint made a major change to the penny's metal content because copper prices had risen dramatically. For many decades, pennies were made mostly of copper, but beginning in 1982, most pennies were struck with a zinc core covered by a thin layer of copper. By 1984, this new composition had fully replaced the old copper alloy in circulation coins. The new pennies weighed about 2.5 grams, compared with the older copper cents, which weighed around 3.11 grams. This change saved the U.S. government millions of dollars in metal costs and allowed the penny to remain in circulation despite rising production expenses. Even though the 1984 Lincoln cent was produced in huge numbers, collectors still search for certain rare varieties. One famous example is the 1984 doubled ear variety, which occurs when a slight misalignment happens during the die creation process. In this error, Lincoln's ear appears doubled or slightly separated, making it look like there are two outlines of the ear. This variety is subtle but very exciting for coin collectors because it shows how small mistakes during minting can create rare and valuable coins. Some collectors have discovered these coins in ordinary pocket change, proving that valuable finds can still appear in everyday circulation. Another reason collectors enjoy searching for 1984 pennies is the possibility of minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on incorrect planchets. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin striking process, and these unusual coins often become prized collectibles. For example, a penny struck slightly off-center might display part of the design missing, creating a unique appearance. Similarly, die cracks can leave raised lines across the surface of the coin. While most 1984 pennies are worth only 1 cent, certain error coins or high-grade examples can sell for far more in the collector market. Condition is another important factor that determines the value of a coin. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to perfect mint state condition. A circulated 1984 penny that has been used in everyday transactions might only be worth its face value. But coin preserved in nearly perfect condition could be worth several dollars or even more. Professional grading organizations, such as a professional coin grading service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, evaluate coins based on their preservation, shine, and overall appearance. When a coin receives a high grade from one of these organizations, collectors often become very interested in acquiring it. The 1980s were an interesting time for coin collecting in the United States. During that decade, millions of Americans began searching through their pocket change, hoping to discover rare varieties or valuable mint errors. Coin collecting magazines and hobby guides encourage people to examine their coins carefully, teaching them how to identify key details such as mint marks, die varieties, and unusual strike patterns. The 1984 Lincoln cent became part of this treasure hunting culture, as collectors look for the famous doubled ear variety and other unusual features. Another fascinating detail about the Lincoln cent series is how it reflects changes in American society. For example, the switch to copper-plated zinc in the early 1980s showed how rising metal prices could influence coin design and production. Meanwhile, the continued presence of Abraham Lincoln's portrait reminds Americans of the president's lasting legacy. Lincoln is remembered for leading the nation during the Civil War and helping to end slavery in the United States. His image on the penny serves as a daily reminder of his role in shaping American history. For many collectors, pennies hold a special place in the hobby because they're easy to find and affordable to collect. Unlike rare gold coins or early silver dollars, Lincoln cents can often be discovered in everyday change. This accessibility makes them perfect for beginners who want to learn about coin collecting without spending large amounts of money. A simple jar of old pennies might contain dozens of different dates and mint marks, turning an ordinary collection into an exciting historica.